Hey guys, finally getting around to mounting a proper spare tire for the Jeep. So that means we need to get this beadlock wheel set up. First, we need to grab our Mopar Beadlock Wheel. Now we can loosen the bolts for the vanity ring that come on these wheels from the factory. With the bolts loose, I'll use some power to take them out the rest of the way. Now we can set the vanity ring and the bolts to the side. Next, I need to set up my TPMS sensor. Inside the box, this sensor came in a few pieces that require assembly. To install this valve stem, I'll first need to attach the sensor to the base. Now we can put the valve stem into our wheel and attach the nut and retaining bolt. With the valve stem installed, we're going to prep our tire with some soapy water to help the wheel set in place. Now we can just push our wheel into the tire. This is where you typically grab a bucket, but in my case, I'm grabbing a Fender stool. Set the wheel and tire face up on the stool. Make sure the bead is seated evenly. Then grab the beadlock ring and the 25 10mm bolts, along with your anti-seize. Now evenly coat your bolts with the anti-seize. And start hand tightening the bolts onto the ring in a star-shaped pattern. Once all the bolts are hand tight, grab a 10mm socket and your wrench. In a star pattern, tighten the bolts until they have a bit of tension. Now, I'm going to make a custom template here to make sure I torque these down in the correct pattern. Using the vanity ring, I traced a circle, then cut it out, and labeled all of my bolts. Now we can torque these down to 20 foot-pounds. With everything torqued down, let's remove the template and get the wheel back on the ground. Turning it around, you can see that this back bead is still not set, so we need to add some air to close this gap. With our air line connected, let's air this tire up to about 8 psi to seal that bead. With the bead set, we'll air up the tire to about 12 psi. Alright, that's all set up. Time to roll it out to the garage and get it on the Jeep. First, we need to remove the Desert Does It Molly panel. Then disconnect our Wolfbox backup camera. Now remove the trim around the backup camera. Then loosen the lug nuts and remove them. Now we can take the old spare off. Let's grab our new beadlock wheel and get it mounted. Now let's replace the lugs, replace the camera cover, and finally put our molly panel and camera back in place. That's it! We've set up our beadlock spare and gotten it mounted to the Jeep just like that. As always, thanks for watching and make sure to like and subscribe.